Hey all, it's Nim, or Nimicry if you're feeling professional, and welcome to the YouTube video. Now I'm your favorite bartender, so before we get started, just in case anybody doesn't know, I stream on Twitch Saturday and Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Monday and Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There should be a bar across the screen, so we'll look at that. Boom. Make sure you give those a click and follow, and then we'll get right into it. Now, let's get into the story. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of video game punditry involving Riot games. So, in an article written by Jonathan Bolding. Now, keep in mind, this is video game punditry that I'm doing. This gentleman did video game journalism. I always like to make the differentiation because of the fact that this man did the initial research, did the initial write-up, and I want to make sure that he gets credit where credit is due. So a link to the source article as well as the author's Twitter will be in the video description. Now, all formalities out of the way, on to it. Riot feared angering gamers with mobile and card game announcements after the reception of Diablo Immortal and Artifact. God, it's hard to blame them. That's a weird title. I don't know if I would put God in there. But hey, whatever. I'm not an author. I'm a pundit. So let's move on down here. Employees at Riot Games had fears and concerns about their company's plan to announce 7 new games last year. That makes sense. Doing 7 games in 1 year means that you're going to have a lot of money going out, a lot of resources, and if something doesn't quite match up cost map-wise, it might get cut. Might not have dedicated support. It might not have everything you need. So the fears are understandable. Specifically, the mobile and card game due to prior backlash among gaming communities to similar projects. Now, that's where I'm going to take my first quibble. All right, so let's look this up here. Backlash among gaming communities. So why don't you take a trip with me to BlizzCon 2018 and the main stage? There's rumors of a Diablo game. Maybe it'll be the long-awaited Druid class. Should we hope for Diablo 4? No. We're told of a new game, a mobile game. A game not coming to PC at your company's biggest event all year? The one where you control all the press and you want to have the biggest stuff? Yeah, that's what we do. So people were outraged. Also, a couple of years before that, you said that it would be an April Fool's joke to have a mobile Diablo. And someone asked it, a gentleman in a red shirt says, "Hey, is this an out-of-season April Fool's joke?" And instant meme. Now, I hear what you're saying. Video game, journalism, video game publisher defense force. But Nim, gamers are always outraged about something. Okay, well, let's contrast that with BlizzCon 2019 when Diablo 4 was shown off in a pre-alpha build. I mean, a way early build. Rave reviews. The art team knocked it out of the park. The cinematics, amazing. People loved it. So a more accurate sentence might read, due to prior backlash from gaming communities, because publishers not giving them what they want. So that's just the first point of quibble there. I had to mention it because, while it's not a bad sentence, it's not necessarily accurate. The fear was such that marketing strategies were developed to specifically avoid negative reactions. In an extensive Twitter thread, League of Legends communications lead Ryan Rigney broke down Riot's 5 strategies for avoiding backlash when announcing risky or controversial games. In recent years, Blizzard's announcement of the mobile game Diablo Immortal and Valve's announcement of the card game Artifact both triggered backlash from their dedicated fan bases. Riot feared the same from its dedicated League of Legends fans, especially as Riot has always been viewed as a one-game company. Now, I want to pause there for a second. After the real money auction house was fixed in Diablo 3, the drops were adjusted. People love that game. I love that game. I love Diablo 3. I would love to have more classes, more options. Honestly, I'll probably still stick with Thorns Crusader because I love the audacity of you touched me, you die. But not everybody plays like that. And Artifact, I honestly heard about Artifact. I never played it. I never have any interest to play it. I had gotten some promotion thing that said, like, hey, try Artifact. Pass. Busy. And we did see recently with League of Legends, they tend to take their IP very seriously. Their business culture needs some work. But they tend to take their IP very seriously. So let's scroll down here. And now we see Ryan Rigney, 5 ways to announce risky, controversial games. So we see all that. Now, Riot wanted to ensure that it was acknowledging that it was jumping on the bandwagon by releasing Auto Battler, Teamfight Tactics, and generally show its love and nerd credentials in each new genre the developer was moving into. The solution here was to be honest and talk about TFT with players the same way we were talking about it internally, said Rigney, pointing out the official announcement pointed at Dota Auto Chess as a direct inspiration for TFT. Now, this point we also do have a little bit to quibble with, maybe. So the internal-external communication. I like this approach. I do. because it provided the feedback you receive from your external sources, your gamers, your end users, can flow back into the internal process, and it's not just treated as, well, we told you what we were going to do, so get over it. I'll give you an example why that wouldn't work. Let's hypothetically say that I'm walking down the street and I tell somebody, you know what, I'm going to punch you in the face. And then I punch you in the face. I can't then use as a defense, well, officer, I told him I was going to punch him in the face. They're going to be like, son, click, get some pretty silver bracelets, and you're under arrest for assault and battery, depending on, I guess, how specific you want to be. So the fact that I informed you does not absolve me of my actions. I just want to make sure that that's the thing. But I like the idea of external and internal communication transparency, and it essentially being the same thing. Now, Rigney also noted that some showed reluctance to lean into the memes by embracing the anti-Diablo Immortal meme. Do you guys not have phones? In its TFT mobile announcement. This was specifically because Riot did not want to be perceived as taking a cheap shot at competitor Blizzard's expense. Their intent was to, instead, play with and subvert the meme. Nonetheless, announcing 8 new projects at once was inevitably going to be perceived as a move against a company many have come to see as Riot's natural rival. Now, let's get rid of that. I got one more point for that. So, play with and subvert the meme. Even if you're going to be careful in the extreme, even if you're going to, tiptoe on cotton balls and try to not wake sweet baby kittens, even if you twist the meme into something else, it's always going to go back to, do you guys not have phones? Do you not have phones? Because that was an absurd response to customer concerns. Even by acknowledging it, you are, in fact, reintroducing it into the social media zeitgeist and resetting the clock. So you might as well lean into it. You've already done the damage, and I'm sure Blizzard and all the other people appreciate that you're trying to be tactful, because look, snark can be fun, but there's a time and a place for snark. You don't always have to have snark. So I get that. Anyways, what do you guys think? The gamers have been cast in a light today where we've had Backlash, and I think I've accurately explained it, where Riot was announcing a lot of projects, and I think I've accurately explained it. I'm curious what you think. Is 7 projects too many for 1 year for a company to do of Riot size? Let me know in the comments below. And as, of course, always, like, share, subscribe, do the other metric increasing behaviors, and I will be back next week. So until next time, keep gaming and enjoy life. Bye.